We're going to be working with Google Forms today, and I'm starting from a blank screen here, and I want to show you an easy way to start a new form. Forms.new will automatically open up a new form, just like that, forms.new. Who knew? Now, when you're in a class situation and you've got, I find that Google Forms is the absolute best way to get the information out to your students so that you know that they have seen it on a particular day in a particular class. And there's a way of setting up the Google form so that you don't have to have multiple Google forms for days of the week or different classes. You could actually just have one Google form for everything. So I'm going to show you how that works. So we're going to title this, and maybe you would title a Google form by maybe even a whole week's worth of classes in one Google form. So we're going to call this week one. Let's just do that, week one, and form for this week's classes. I don't know. I'm just making this up, and whatever you have typed in up here will automatically appear there. Now, when you're using G Suite for education, there's a very important step that you need to take, and it's going to look a little different from this one. What is absolutely essential is that you collect email addresses. Ask to have the students, they can get a response receipt, but how we're going to set this up, it doesn't really matter. That's just more stuff on them, and depending on the age of the students, it might just get unwieldy to keep getting these emails that they have filled out a form. You don't want to limit this to one response because you're going to see that we're going to be able to reuse this form over and over again. There's a couple of other settings. You can send out a message after the form has been submitted, and you can customize this message. Have a good day. Something like that. We're not going to do the quiz options. That'll be covered in another in a separate video. Absolutely essential that you go over to this settings cog and set it up. Absolutely essential that you're setting it up for your students to collect their email addresses. Now, because I'm not on G Suite for education, that email address, that first question is right here. It's automatically put in because I had checked this. But when you're on G Suite for education, you won't actually see this email address. The student's first question that they'll see will be right here. And so I'm going to type this in. And you'll see why we're going to separate out these first name and last name. Oh, and actually we should do this, make sure it's required. We'll need to set the students into classes and then by days of the week, and the best thing to do is just ask the students which class are they in. Which class are you in? Now, when you're setting this up, it kind of implies, this could be for attendance, or if you're going to add assignments, it kind of implies that you're going to give the same sort of assignment to every class. So this might not work if you are teaching or want different information in those different classes, but I'll show you what I mean by that. So we have first period class, and then, I don't know, third period class, and then maybe they teach a sixth period class and eighth period class. All right, so here we go. We're going to make that required. Now we're also going to ask the students, what day of the week is it? What day of the week is it? And you can see Google is reading that question and is suggesting, and it suggests all these as possible answers, and we're going to definitely take them. And we'll just get rid of Saturday and Sunday. So we go Monday through Friday. Now, this is where things get very interesting for being able to use this form for the entire week. And that is, we're going to when the student clicks on Monday, they're going to go to the section of the form that is based on Monday. So I'm just going to click this right here. And right now this won't make any sense because we only have one section. Right now this form, oh my, right now this form is only one section long. But what we're going to do is I'm going to highlight this question here, and we're going to add a section. That's these two lines right here. And actually what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to add 5 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and I'm going to do something very important right now also, which is I'm going to, at the end of each section, and it's very important that you do this right now because you don't want to forget to do this, is click on this so that when the section is completed, the form will be submitted. I'm going to do the same thing here, same thing here, here, and of course the last one already it defaults to being submitted. Okay, so this section we're going to call this Monday. This section is Tuesday. This section's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Now Google doesn't know what I'm doing, that's why I had to just type those in manually. But you'll see here, let's go back to this question. When a student clicks on Monday, the section of the form that they're going to go to is right here, Monday. When they click on Tuesday, they want to go to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Oops, Friday. So now that they're linked in like this, what we can do on Monday is we're going to say Happy Monday. And then right here we're going to say, actually let's take this away. Let's put in here a link to a YouTube video. There actually is one for that already here. We're going to put in a link for a YouTube video. And so we want to search, and we want to search for Hamilton musical. And here we go, the Disney Plus trailer for the Hamilton musical. So, hi students, has anyone seen this yet? All right, now next thing is we want to go here and we say, have you seen the Hamilton musical? And again, Google is giving you some options. I'm going to put in a couple other things. I'm just making these things up. I have no idea what this is. We put a little question mark here. All right. So you see that is Monday's section. Now Tuesday. What we want to do here is perhaps we just want to have a link to a Google Doc. And students, click this link below for a Google Doc that is a log of your week's listening. I'm just making this up, I have no idea, but right down here we could have a link and it could say google.com/ and then all those crazy codes, and that would be the link there. Alright, so now as you're working on these Google Forms, what you can do is click on this eyeball, which will give you the preview of what it's going to look like to the students. So here we're going to input the email address. Now, like I said, on G Suite for Education, they're not going to have to do this. It's going to automatically be put in, but they do require a an email address, and I'm just going to put in some random stuff here. All right, which class am I in? I'm in the third period class. Now, here's where we get the test out and see if our sections work. So I just clicked on Monday. I'm going to do Monday's class. I'm going to click the next button. And you see it's gone to the section of the form for Monday. Happy Monday, students. Has anyone seen this? And here's the official trailer for, I better not watch that. Don't want to have any copyright situation. And then we have you seen the Hamilton musical? Yes, no, not interested. It's my favorite. And then we're going to click the submit button, and that will submit. That will be the assignment or the check-in or whatever it is that you want to give to the students on Monday. Now I'm going to go back. Here was my information. Let's say, no, actually I did Monday's class already. I want to do Tuesday's class. And you'll see this is how we had Tuesday's class set up with this title that says click this link below, and we would click it, and of course it's not found because I just made that up, but nonetheless you could put a real link in here to a Google Doc for something that you want your students to do, and then they would be able to submit right here. The advantage of doing all of your information in the one form is that you're only going to send out one link to the students. And now this is something so very, very important. We get used to clicking the URL bar, highlighting it, typing Command C or Control C, and copying and pasting a document, a PDF, whatever it is, for the students to see. But you do not ever want to do that with a Google form, because if you send out this link that I just highlighted up at the top, it's going to look exactly like this, and students will be able to edit or change your form. So you do not ever want to send out this link. I can't emphasize this enough. Don't ever send out this link. Where you get the link is from the send button. And the send button opens up this. Now you could email this to someone, but for most cases, if you want to post it to Google Classroom or post it to a Google Doc, this will be the, if you click on, I just click there, that highlights the URL. You can hit copy. If you think that's too long and intimidating, and I think it is, I always like to click on the shortened URL, and now it changes to a forms.gle. And then we click copy, and this is how you properly send a Google form to students. You could also embed it in a website if you have those capabilities with a website. Here you got the HTML code to put that in. So I already copied that link to the clipboard, and now from here I'm just going to do Command V, just so that you can see that it works. And we can see that this is the form for week 1, and email address, first name, last name, what period of the class, and you can see this is the correct form. One last thing, when the responses come in, they'll be on this tab right here, on this part of the Google form. It's not very not a great way to be able to analyze and take a look at who has completed the Google form. What you want to do, and absolutely I'll have a whole series of videos about this, is link your Google form responses to a Google Sheet. And so right now I'm going to say, yes, let's create this week 1 responses. You could also put it into an existing spreadsheet, but we're going to do this. I'm going to hit the create button. And right here it has created, and you'll see up at the top of this sheet is the time that the response comes in, email address, first name, last name, which class are you in, which day of the week, and have you seen the Hamilton musical. And that typically goes after you have either previewed or sent the sheet, because for instance we can add a question. So we're right here right now, we want to add a question. how are you today? Or how are you finding the work today? Little check-in, and see, it has already formatted it so that it comes up with a linear scale, and they can just pinpoint 1 through 5 how they're finding the work today. And when we click on preview, go over to Google Sheets, you'll see that it automatically added that column for this new question. Now, if we were to delete a question, let me get out of preview. I go back to the form itself. If we were to delete a question, what I've noticed, if I were to delete this right now, and I go over here to Sheets, you'll see the question is still there. Even if I go into preview, okay, so the question is no longer there, but it's still represented here. So this is just a slight problem. If you were to complete the Google form in entirety, plan out your whole week, Monday, Tuesday questions and documents, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and after you have completed all of those different sections, if you then link it to your Google Sheet, then everything will be populated the way you want it to. So that's just one little thing, is that it can get a little confusing up here if you start changing questions, because it will always, it'll make sure it never loses a question that you're adding, but it won't automatically take away a question that you have deleted. So that's just one little thing to think about. As always, for these YouTube videos, there'll be a link to this spreadsheet in the description of the video. Give the video, while you're there, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and type in the comments and let me know what other things that you would be interested in seeing in an upcoming video. Until then, take care, be well.